Okay, you've seen a little bit of this 1970 Chevelle in the last video, so I'm going to give you a walk-around tour of it. Let me show you what I'm going to be doing. This car's in pretty good shape. It's got two new quarter panels on it, and they were actually put in at the factory seams here. What I'm told, this got filled with Mar-glass or some type of a fiberglass Bondo. Both quarters have to be finished, and there's a few dents on the roof. I'm going to take care of all that. And I think this black primer is wherever there was some dents that somebody's messed with. And so I'm going to take care of the roof. Same with these windshield pillar posts here. They were finished out. I think it had some cracks in the old lead. It's been repaired, and that was as far as it got. So that'll be taken care of. The door you've already seen. I've been working on that. That was the last few videos. The rocker panels are in good shape. They're just chipped up. There's actually a couple of holes in here. Must have been from trim. Those are going to be soldered in. I'm going to sand the rockers all down, make sure there's no rust on them, get them primed, seam seal this here. Deck lid's in good shape. I don't think I need to do anything to that other than make it fit, but I will take it off while I'm repairing this back panel right here. When this quarter was put on, it was just tacked here with the MIG welder, and the factory put spot welds underneath here to put these two flanges together, and I think they're about impossible to duplicate that. So what I'm going to do is clean all this primer out of here, and I'm going to put some brass in here. That way it'll flow down into there, and then I'm going to grind most of these welds out, and I want to make sure that groove continues all the way through top and bottom, and then I'll use seam sealer in there. That way it'll look like factory. And there's been some work done on this panel for some reason. Come over to this side. There's about a 1/16 inch layer of Bondo, primer, paint. So I don't know what was going on here, but there's some dents in here. I can see it's kind of wavy from Bondo. So I'll do this whole thing from one end to the other and make that look good. Same thing with this right-hand quarter panel. I believe it's got Mar-glass in here. I'm going to sand this primer off, maybe grind into this a little bit, and I'm going to put some more Mar-glass over it because it is fairly deep. I don't want to fill it with Bondo. And the same thing, a few dents on this side. Okay, on the right side door, it's actually pretty clean. From this body line down to here, it is all wavy. I don't know how much Bondo's in here. A few dents down in the lower area, not too much. I'm going to end up sanding all this down and probably coating this whole thing with Bondo. Go around the edges, take care of any rust. And it's got a crack right here. It's actually kind of a lump with rust under it. And the other door had the exact same thing. I fixed that, and I didn't show it on the last videos, but I will show you what the issue is here and how I'm going to repair it. And this door will be coming off. It's a lot easier to just work on the sawhorses. Front of this car has two new aftermarket fenders and a new aftermarket hood, and nothing fits up here. The sheet metal was just kind of put on. There's no shims in here, and I'm going to end up taking this whole front end off because it's also got new aftermarket door hinges and nothing really lines up. The door hangs up, it drops, it doesn't line up with the quarter. The gaps are, they're so-so, but nothing fits. With the fenders off, then I can get right to these hinge bolts and do all my adjustments, make these doors fit the quarters, and then I'll start rebuilding the front end. The very first thing I'm going to do with this car is strip this door handle and the lock out of it, take the door off, get it on the horses, and get this fixed. I know it's going to be a lot like the last couple videos, kind of doing the same procedures. I won't spend too much time showing that, but I will show you what's going on here. I don't know if I have to pull the glass out yet, but I want to get this door stripped, get it repaired, and it can be ready for primer, and it'll be out of my way. So let's get started on this door. Let's get this lock cylinder off of here. These are real easy. If you've never worked on one of these old cars, all they have, that clip right there, kind of like a fork clip or a horseshoe. It just slides on, and we just want to slide it back. The trick is have it not go flying and get stuck somewhere between the door skin and that intrusion beam and be lost forever. Try and get it loose a little at a time. See if I can grab it with needle nose. Just like that. And we just grab the cylinder, wiggle it out of there. That's all there is to it. Next, we'll get this handle out of here. Okay, to get this handle off, there's two bolts in there, 1/4 inch bolts. They have 3/8 heads. Get those two bolts out of there and that handle will just pop right off. No metric tools required on this car. There's one bolt. Okay, bolt number 2, and we just come over here, pull that handle out. The corner of this skin is actually cracked right here. So I'm just going to hit that with the MIG welder. But what's going on here, yeah, there's Bondo in there. There was some kind of trim or molding on the top of these doors, and they were just filled in with Bondo. The other door, somebody had MIG welded it in. There was just a few pinholes in their welds that were letting it rust. But those pinholes, I drilled them out with an 1/8" drill and then took the belt sander and kind of countersunk the whole area and filled it in with solder. I'll take the belt sander, get this all cleaned up. Okay, the first thing I'm going to do is put a little bit of weld on here. This corner is cracked. I want to keep the heat down, so I'm just going to put a few tacks on here and then flip it over and hit a few on that side. And I pulled the glass out. I didn't want to risk getting weld spatter on it. Okay, I've got that welded up, and I really don't want to take the welder to this because it's going to burn the whole back side of this. We're going to solder a patch in that. This is called tinning. We're tinning the metal by putting a thin layer on here. Something else I discovered on this door, I'd found some bubbles in the paint here, so I started chipping it off, and there was just little pinholes. This door is solid, and it's funny that this is all solid. It's not like a piece of Swiss cheese. And I took my hammer, so I took the end of the belt sander and I actually ground these down and beveled them like you would a drilled hole. So it's really solid. So I'm just going to solder these up, and I think it's going to be fine. Okay, next I'm going to take 80 grit on a DA and go over that whole area. Now I put masking tape on both these outside edges. That way whatever runs off here, you don't have to chip it off or sand it off. Pull the tape off and it's clean. I put a little bit of tape inside where this handle goes, keep from having to chip and grind that stuff out of there. So I'm going to mix up Bondo and get that put on. Okay, I'm going to take 80 grit again on the mud buster, just skim over this, and then I'm going to start blocking. Okay, next 80 grit on the longboard. Okay, 120 on the longboard. Okay, this door is finished up. I'm going to go around the edges with some etch prime, cover up all the bare metal, and that'll do it. Not looking too bad. That'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching.